What's up, people? Hey, listen, okay, so I'm going to give you a little small synopsis of what Hinduism is um, according to your Bible, okay? So, in the Bible, the we're taking the book in totality, beginning to end, okay? This is a story, the Bible is a story about a group of people called the Jews, or from Judea, Hebrews, that the Lord, who the Egyptians worshiped their own gods, but Yah chose for himself a people out of all the people. Okay? He said he looked at all the people, he chose for himself a special people. Okay? These people weren't ready for this choosing. They cried all the time because they were just in bad straits. They cried all the time for a God, and Yah took pity on them and took them. But then, guess what? He gave them laws. And they were like, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean I can't eat shrimp? Whoa, hold on. What do you mean I can't eat pork? My slave master gave me this pork. I want this, I gotta do it. He gave me the entrails. I got to have chitlins, and you fight against the rules and the laws of this because a pig is like slop. It eats its slop. It eats whatever. You can put a pig in a landfill. They'll eat the whole landfill, and then whatever they eat, you are what you eat. That saying is true. Yeah, whatever they eat, you eat. And they don't feed pigs like that. They pigs eat slop and dirt and cud. Okay, so you are what you eat. The Lord is like a pig is like just nasty to him. He's like, dude, don't eat that thing. He said, because that's going to give you sickness in your body. It makes your equilibrium off. It takes your balance out of your body. And I want you to be balanced. I want you to live a balanced life. We know that there's good and there's bad, there's up and there's down, there's back and there's forth. I want you to be balanced. I want you to be equiposed inside yourself. So the Bible is a story about a group of people called the Jews and their journey to meet their God, the laws that he gave their God, how he set them above all other people, but he's made them lower than everybody so he can show everybody on this planet who my people are. I want to show you that I am the God of this planet, okay? And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to let you beat my kids up. And then one day, after you beat them up long enough, and I'm leading them to do this, okay? I'm going to show y'all who I am. So this is kind of what the Bible is. And the Lord comes and visits the earth in a personage like Christ. He comes and visits the earth every millennia, every 1,000 years or so. He'll come down because we get so far away. He'll come, he'll reestablish religious principles, and then we get away from it when he leaves. When he leaves, when the cat's away, the mouse will play, that type of thing. So the Lord comes down and we get so far away from him. We get so naughty, we fall into our traps, and we get so naughty. And then the military forces on the earth, mankind kills each other so bad that the Lord has to come back and destroy all military forces on the earth at one moment, at one time, in one battle. And that's World War III. That's Armageddon. We all know about it. It's in our bones. Armageddon's coming. We don't know when it is, but we know that it's going to happen in the Middle East. Somebody's Israel or somebody's going to do something that's going to force all nations to go to Israel, and the Lord is going to come and meet them in the valley of Megiddo. Okay? And he said, I'm going to consume their eyeballs out of their heads and their tongues out of their mouths at one time so they can't utter against me while I'm killing them. This is the American army, us, England, all the forces are going. The Chinese, everybody's going. And this is what the Bible's about. It's about the Lord is going to come and reestablish religious principles. Okay, and that's after this war happens, we'll have 1,000 years of peace on earth. Okay, all right. So he's coming to reestablish religious principles because since the last time he was here, we've gotten so far away from him. We've fallen after these Romans and everything that they wrote, thinking that it's gospel. When no, you don't even know that these Romans have done this to you because you're so caught up in your traditions and it's always been this way. So it must be what God is. It ain't what God is because you ain't read the book. You just follow after the traditions of your family. You just do what they do because grandma did it and granddaddy did it. This is their church. This is where they went. I think I'll go too. And I'll take my kids and I'll go there too. And we just going to follow after traditions. And we're not really going to read this book. Okay? That's what happens. We get far, far, far away from the religious principle. Jesus came and gave these religious principles 2,000 years ago. We got so far away from it. So we're going into the age of Aquarius, where the war is coming in the age of Aquarius. And Aquarius is a time of brotherhood. Okay? So that's the time of peace that's supposed to come. You see, in Aquarius, you got the man holding the pitcher, pouring out the water. And that's in Revelations when he says, in the last days, I will pour out my flesh upon all spirit, and your old men will dream dreams and young men of prophecy. That's written. You don't know it. You ain't read it. You're doing the traditions. Okay? So the Bible is a story. It's a play. We're actually living in a play right now, and we're walking into our history. We're walking dead into Armageddon. It's going to happen. And it's going to be because the Lord needs to destroy the miscreants, is what Hinduism says. Destroy the miscreants and deliver the pious, the good people, the pious. Deliver them from this wickedness, okay? And he has to come in and destroy all the military forces at one time. That's Armageddon, okay? The day of the Lord in the Bible is talking about the day that the birds are going to eat the flesh of all the military on the ground, okay? So that's just a synopsis of what the Bible is actually about. It's a book about the family of Jews and Revelations and the day that he delivers this people and also destroys all the military forces. Hinduism, the book, the Bhagavad Gita and the Mahabharata. Mahabharata comes first, then the Bhagavad Gita is next. The story about the Hindu is the same story that our Bible is because of the cycles of life. The same thing is happening. The same thing happened in Kurukshetra, which is India. Okay, when India ruled the world. Okay, and India has the swastika. They started the swastika because it represents the four arms of God. If you look at Krishna, a lot of times you'll see Krishna, Vishnu, or Brahma. They got four arms. And that's because, and sometimes you'll see with four heads, one looking north, south, east, and west, because the Lord sees in all directions at the same time. His arms are just like on the swastika. Those are arms, like on a clock, and he sees north, south, east, and west. He reaches in all directions. That's your swastika. And Hitler knew it. Hitler was a Bible prophet too. He studied the Bible. He knew what that was. They just took it and turned it for evil. Okay? But the swastika is actually Aryan, which the Aryans are, the first Aryans are Hindus, or your Krishna and whatnot, okay? And then it's turned into Iranians, okay? So that book is about a war that is coming, because the last time the Lord came, they got so far away from God that they started the wars, the men fighting men, men killing men, people wasting away in their traditions, and the Lord had to come back and reestablish religious principles on the earth. And he had to call all of the military forces together. Millions and millions and millions of people came to India for a war that happened in India when it was called Kurukshetra, okay? And it's the same story that our Bible is doing. So if you look at their story, it tells you our story. If you listen to what Krishna says, he's telling you about what Jesus is going to say. You don't even understand it because they try to tell you, you need to stay away from these books, or you need to stay, there's a whole nother religion. There's no such thing as a religion. Religion is the traditions that you follow. Trying to find God, trying to find who God is in the mind. You have to go inside yourself. He rests and resides inside every person. But you, because of this world that you live in, because I got kids, I got a wife, I got a job, my car, all these things, you lose track. And that's how you get far away from God, because you put these other things before him. And then you waste away your energy to all these other things that you have in your life. And you don't spend any time seeking for yourself, okay? And I'm gonna go, now that you understand kind of what Hinduism is just the same story as our story, okay? It's just a group of people that happened to be in India at the time who were wasting away after the Lord had been gone for so long, a millennia or so, and the Lord had to come back to reestablish religious principles, which he's getting ready to do here. He's getting ready to do it here. And that's what Revelations is. He's coming back. He said, I'm coming back to the earth. They got 7 bold viruses that are going to come. When I open the first seal, I'm going to pull the second seal. These are the ways that you're going to know this is about to happen. Okay? So we're going to get into Hinduism and break down the mind, the inner man, and not this outer man that the traditions of Rome are trying to teach you and keep you away from your inner man by doing the outer things of this world. All right?